spring called Jesus Christ Super Fraud, which will be available to the public. This is a book that she has had to completely rewrite because it was lost on some computer disks that were unfortunately erased. So she spent the last year going back through her notes and rewriting this book, which we hope to have out actually 2 years ago. I'd also like to say that one thing we seem to be missing here in a lot of the calls that we're getting is that we're focusing on areas that are really peripheral to atheism. The origin of life is not a serious, burning, everyday question that an atheist must answer, and therefore it is not the substance of American atheism. Basically, as we see it, religion promotes dependency, and it promotes the idea that people cannot make it through life on their own. The atheist position is that, yes, you can make it through life on your own. You don't need someone telling you how to get through your life. The sum total of human experience has been that people can make it through life, and we don't need to throw on a lot of philosophical stuff. We don't need to believe in spirits. We don't need to imagine some external world that we can all escape into when we die. And in fact, I would maintain that these things are the elements that you find in sick societies. I think one of the reasons why we have so many people trying to escape reality on drugs is that there is this subliminal message in our culture that says, escape reality, believe in religion. And I think that it's pretty clear that the drug experiences are often very similar to religious experiences. And I would cite as evidence the experiences that Timothy Leary has related to us when he was doing LSD experiments in Harvard. He was originally doing work for the CIA and the National Security Agency, and in his experiments with LSD, he published a paper in the early 60s where he said, well, it looks like drug experiences and religious imagery are very similar. Therefore, it is possible that drug-induced psychosis is very similar to a religious experience, and perhaps the two have something to do with one another. And this is when he suddenly started to become attacked. And I would maintain that religion is essentially a drug, although it's a self-induced drug treatment. It's a psychologically unhealthy mental state. It's a mental state that is of no positive use to the individual, and therefore it should not be encouraged in the culture.
Let me respond to that. First of all, you've made the same errors that your predecessor Karl Marx made, because he said the exact same things
Karl
you just
Marx
did.
is not my predecessor, incidentally.
Well, and what you just said is exactly what he said, and so I would say that you're making the same mistakes he did. I would respond by saying that Christianity, religion, is not the sign of a sick mind. I believe that a man must actually work on suppressing his natural understanding that this world that we live in is not just simply the happenstance of chance. Mankind intuitively knows that. Yes, it's true that atheists do not like to talk a lot about the origin of life and things like that, because it's something that atheism has no answer for. It must go
Religion
along.
has no answer either.
It must go along.
And the atheists are going along looking...
I did not interrupt you, sir.
No, but you're trying to slander me.
You talked for a long time about something, and I want to respond. Thank you.
Well, you're responding wrong, and you're trying to put words into my mouth.
Religion does not create a sick mind. It is not simple dependency. It is recognition of authority, which is, of course, something in our society is losing track of a lot these days. And I would just respond by saying that if that's the type of if how you see religion, Mr. Lynch, is simply a system, simply morals, simply codes, then you know nothing of the Christian faith. You know a lot about externals, but you know nothing about a Christian faith.
Well, everything you've said has only confirmed what I said, that religion is authoritarianism, that religion is a set of strictures that have to be imposed on people.
I haven't said
anything like that. And you have also said that religion is an escape from reality. No, you just said that in your last statement.
I never said...
You said that...
Did I say that? Can we run the tape back there? I'd like to prove
You said that you had a problem with living in the natural world and accepting it as it is. Therefore, you had to escape into religion. Yes, you did. You said that there is not
Well,
just
that's
the
okay.
natural
Let the people
world.
judge. They can hear what you're saying. It's exactly like what you said at the beginning of the program when you talked about how I supposedly got on this program. It's just false, and the people know that.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Brian Lynch and Jim Whiter. Kelly is first-time caller from Phoenix. Hello, Kelly.
Hi, I just have one question and a comment,
Go ahead.
both directed towards Bob. My
No, you mean
comment
Brian
is-
Lynch. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. I feel that if he would like to persuade people into his beliefs or non-beliefs as he thinks, I think he needs to show a little bit more respect towards people. Some of his comments have been, I think, rather hateful and disrespectful toward them. And also, I would just like him to, what does he think is going to happen to him after he dies?
Okay, the first part of your question I'll respond to in just a second. Nothing happens to you after you're dead. That's it. Life is over. And as far as the issue of respect and all that, I'm not attempting really to persuade people to become atheists. I think that every atheist I know has thought this through on their own and has reached their position on their own. And I think that they are fed up with the kind of slander that's directed to them by the religious community. In my personal opinion, I don't think the religious community deserves the respect that they've often received in the past. I think that this is a spurious kind of respect. And the idea that we have to respect ideas that are inherently insane or useless is really ridiculous.
Quickly, Tom, I'd just like to point out that there is a big difference between the way that I would approach Mr. Lynch and the way that Mr. Lynch has approached me. I have a reason outside of myself as well as inside myself to respect him and to treat him and not to lie about him. I would just ask the audience, does atheism provide a reason for him to treat me with respect? And I think the way it's happened this afternoon, it doesn't.